are put away. You do not need a computer today. Make sure you are turned around facing this direction. We have some amazing guest speakers today. This is Veronica and Don Corvelli, and they're going to discuss with you TBI, with traumatic brain injury, and share their story that they live with every single day. So please pay attention, be respectful, and be a good representation of
No eating.
No, I love it. Please give them all of your respect and attention.
I'm Veronica Corvelli, and this is my mother, Dawn Corvelli. And February 13th, 2008, we were in a near fatal car accident where I almost lost my life. Mom suffered a moderate traumatic brain injury. I got a severe traumatic brain injury. When the paramedics got there, my blood pressure was 52/0.
This is our car.
Yeah, I was driving with my permit. I was pushed where the middle console was, and Mom was like out of the car. They had to use the jaws of life to get us out, and all 4 doors fell off. So, and this was in the impound lot where my dad took the picture. So,
I would just wanna ask, has anybody heard of a traumatic brain injury? Ooh, too many. Oh, sorry. Is it somebody you know, or some, a friend, a family member, anybody?
I don't wanna stand
Is it a friend or family member?
here.
Yeah, do they act differently than they used to?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes,
It was my sister's friend.
does she act differently than she used to?
Yeah.
Are they still friends?
They're in college now, so I don't think they've talked recently.
Oh, a lot of times when you have a brain injury, you lose all your friends because you act very differently than you used to. Did you notice that?
I think, well, they still stayed friends for high school.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
You guys can ask questions at any time. I was 15. I think I said that, sorry. I repeat myself, Mom repeats herself. Get used to it, sorry.
And I forget my words, so sometimes I'll just stand here for a second. I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say.
We both, like, so in the hospital, I was in for 12.5 weeks. I had to relearn everything from infancy all over again. And Mom was in for 3 weeks and lost her short-term memory for
7
7
weeks.
weeks.
I only remember snippets of that time, and we videotaped Veronica when she was in the hospital. And I see myself on video, but I don't remember being there. It's really weird.
I'm sorry, did you have a question? No? Alright. Pussy hands, no. And it's like, I forgot what I was saying.
This picture is important to me because Veronica was on life support and in a coma, and I thought it was the last time I was gonna see her alive. So I took a picture of her. My husband was super mad because he doesn't want to remember her that way. But it was part of her life, so I took a picture. Go ahead and tell what happened.
When the car, we were driving a little Honda Civic, as you saw, and a 4x4 truck T-boned us when we were coming out from the stop sign, and they were going 60, and
We were going about 5 miles an hour.
I sheared my brainstem, I bruised my frontal lobe, I broke both hips, 8 breaks in my pelvis. I'm sorry, I'm like, what? I broke my left ankle, paralyzed my left side. I had to relearn how to walk, talk, write, eat, roll over. I was in a 2.5 week coma.
Yep. And I got 9 staples in my head and I broke 6 places in my pelvis.
And when
So we
the-
were on a walker at the same time.
And I decorated mine with Mardi Gras beads, and it was beautiful. When paramedics got there, my heart
Oh yeah, 52 over 0.
my heart rate,
Your blood pressure.
blood pressure was 52/0, and my parents have guardianship over me now because I do not make the best decisions.
Oh, she sheared her
Oh,
brain
yeah.
stem and bruised her frontal lobe. And your frontal lobe is your emotional center.
And it's like your decision making, and so like other people my age, I will always be a 15-year-old in some ways. I feel like I'm a grown up, and then like in the next instant, my parents will tell me I did something wrong, and I'll be like, no, you didn't. And it's just how I react.
Mhm.
So.
Okay, we're going to talk about the definition of a TBI, the severity of brain injury, statistics, and common problems. So what is a traumatic brain injury?
A traumatic brain injury is an acquired injury to the brain.
Wait 1 second. An acquired brain injury can be traumatic or non-traumatic. I got my little list here. If I can find it. You can get a brain injury in many ways. And so you can get a traumatic brain injury from a blow to the head, like an accident, a car accident, somebody hitting you in the head, falling. Whenever your head, the injury comes from outside your body. But also it can come from illness or disease, mosquito bites. Sometimes mosquitoes are infected and they can actually cause meningitis and give you a brain injury. If you have a mouth infection, like a tooth infection, and that can also cause a brain injury. Sinus infection can go to your brain. Alcohol and drug use, oxygen deprivation, and a tick that has Lyme disease can also cause a brain injury.
Resulting in total or partial functional disability or physiological, psychological, or social impairment, or both, adversely affects a person's educational performance.
The way it can affect educational performance is when you have a brain injury, you're often super tired and I went back, I missed a whole semester, my second semester sophomore year, and I went back junior year, and the first semester of junior year, I only went back for half days, and then I would go home and I would like sleep the rest of the day. I'd wake up for dinner and go back to sleep. Yeah. When she wasn't in physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, which when she was in the hospital, she did all 3 of those in the morning for 3 hours and then in the afternoon for 3 hours. And we actually had a friend come to the hospital and Veronica kept falling asleep and he said, "Why are you so tired? All you do is lay around all day." And my husband and I got kind of irritated with that because Veronica worked really hard to get better. So, and she was.
And your brain heals when you sleep. So,
Yep.
what is a brain injury? An injury to the brain caused by a blow to the head, penetration of the skull caused by an accident. The injury may disrupt functioning in a single area of the brain, of focal damage, or impact multiple areas of the brain functioning, diffuse damage. Adverse effects could be short-term or long-term. And that's me. And mom. Mine will, I'll have forever. I will, my neuropsychologist said, when you hit 25, you will be as good as you get. That is
But that
Because-
doesn't mean you're not learning every day, cause everybody's learning.
Like a part of my brain would still be open.
No.
I don't know. But when I was 25, like, what part would be, I don't know. I'm sorry. But yeah, he was like, it'd be, that part would be done, but you did.
Your
still-
brain is done developing when you're
Yeah.
25.
Yes. So, the statistics is every 23 seconds, one person in the US sustains an acquired brain injury. 1 in 500 students sustains an acquired brain injury each year in the US. 1 in 25 students will sustain an acquired brain injury before high school graduation. Overall, twice as many boys as girls. And the highest risk is 0 to 4 years old and 15 to 19 years old. How old are you guys?
15.
I was
This
15
happened when she was
also.
15. Which
It
is
was-
scary. How many kids are in this class? 22? 1 out of 25 students.
Yeah, so at least one of you will sustain a brain injury.
But that doesn't mean, it will come from outside your body. It could be from an illness or a disease that causes it.
Do any of you play football?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have any of you ever gotten a concussion from it? Oh my gosh. Did you lose consciousness? Did you have any after effects that you noticed?
Just can't remember.
Yeah. Did that last for a long time? Is it still there?
Just don't remember much about that day. I don't know.
Good. That's good to hear.
Did you have to be on like a different protocol for school? Were you on lighter workload?
Probably.
I was on an IEP for,
Has anybody heard of it?
Our IEP is something that the school has to follow, and we can't do it, we have to follow it, we don't follow it.
it's a special education,
Individual
yeah, individual,
educational program.
yeah, yeah. So that's how I got to graduate with my original class of 2010, so.
When we went to the school, before school was out, before Veronica's junior year, she was on a walker, and,
And I was walking a little slow, and I was in front of the stairs, and the bell rang, and all of a sudden, like, people started rushing, and they couldn't get by me, and everybody started cussing, and blah, blah, like, have compassion.
what was that? What was that?
Like,
She said I would have thrown them down the stairs.
that's not funny.
No, not you, the other students,
They
right?
were being mean.
The students that were being mean.
Oh, I was like,
Not
that's,
you.
that's not
No.
funny.
Yeah, have compassion. Also, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, have any of you heard of car surfing?
Yes, actually, my stepdad did it,
Uh-huh.
he did it 3 times, and on the 3rd time, he fell under and got ran over. He's fine, he's fine.
Oh my gosh, we know a girl that did that. You know someone that did that too?
That's what I was saying, that had a brain injury, but.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Not exactly car surfing, I think, but like, you know, like, when you're on like a highway, they'll like sit like right outside on the windowsill of the.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right on the highway doing like a hybrid.
That's a good way to get a brain injury. That's a good way to die. What was that?
We did have cars, people hang out the side of the window.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Another thing is, drinking and driving, or talking on your phone.
Or texting and driving.
What else? Things like that. What? Oh, for the next one, sorry. Okay, shearing and tearing of neurons. When an injury occurs, the neurons stretch, twist, or tear. Veronica's brainstem was sheared, and this is your brainstem.
And so it was stretched so far, it was like a rubber
did-
band, but it didn't snap.
Yeah.
So,
So, when that happens, when they stretch, twist, or tear, when they heal, they don't heal the same way as they were before. The neurons find new pathways to reconnect, and that's what makes you different after your brain injury. Nobody that has a brain injury, I don't know about a mild concussion, but anybody that has a brain injury like Veronica and I, you don't go back to the way you were, and because of that, you often lose your friends, which we did. Our behavior was really different. Veronica was super sexual. We would go to parties and she would pull her shirt up, and I would speak in a sexual manner that was inappropriate, and we never got invited to that friend's house again. When you drink, it's even worse. It's called being unfiltered. Have you guys heard of being unfiltered? Like when you think something, but you're able to say, "Oh, I better not say that out loud."
I don't
Veronica,
have that.
she doesn't have that. She says things out loud, and a lot of times they're inappropriate and sexual.
mild, moderate, severe. Injuries can range from mild, a brief change in mental functioning, to severe, extended period of unconsciousness, significant long-term disability. Full effects of brain injury may not be apparent until later, when the person is expected to perform more advanced skills and to regulate their behavior. Like, we didn't realize how different I was until I had to go back to school, and like my behavior became so perverse, and like I would cuss all the time, and just like I was just very,
She would talk when she wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to.
I
She
was
would just.
like-
Sometimes when you have a brain injury, you talk and talk and talk a lot.
so, yeah. Questions? No.
Severity of brain injury: mild, brief or no loss of consciousness. Signs of a concussion: nausea and vomiting, headache, fatigue, dizziness, poor recent memory, unable to form new memories following the injury. Most times new memories are accumulated within 1 hour after the injury. Severity of brain injury: moderate, coma less than 24 hours. I have no idea how long I was in a coma. I mean, I was unconscious for. But I know that I woke up when the ambulance got there, and they cut my clothes off because I had 6 breaks in my pelvis, and I kept yelling that my back hurt, so they cut my clothes off before they put me on the gurney, and I was afraid someone would see me naked. Unable to form new memories following the injury for at least 24 hours. When I ate breakfast and they took my tray away, I didn't even know that I did eat breakfast. I didn't know what I had. I didn't know anything about it. And then one day, they had this,
Broadmoor buffet.
yes, a buffet, and the cooks from the Broadmoor put it on, and the food was fantastic. And I really wanted to join the buffet one day, but I kept falling asleep. So my husband brought back 2 big pieces of cake, and I forgot all about him. He wasn't even on my mind. And I ate both pieces of cake, and when he came back, he was like, "What did you do?" I didn't remember. There was something else I was gonna tell you. It ran across my mind while I was talking. Sorry,
I don't remember, because you didn't tell me.
I don't remember. I'm not remembering a lot of stuff today.
A brain injury, severe. coma more than 24 hours, unable to form new memories following the injury longer than 24 hours. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks, and my short-term memory is still terrible. So,
Veronica will say to me the night before, okay, so I don't know what to tell you first. Veronica will ask me the night before, what are we doing tomorrow? And then in the morning, she'll ask me, what are we doing? And I'll say, go look at the note on the counter, cause I always write down what we're doing the next day. And then she'll still ask me
like
another
on
time
the way,
where we're going. So she forgets a lot.
like halfway to Walmart or something, I'll be like, where are we going? And she'll be like, we're going to Walmart. I'm like, why are we going there? Like, my life is not what you would think.
What I do to remember is I have a date book and I write what I need to do in there. And then the night before, I write a list of what I need to do. And my husband will look at it and like before bed, he'll ask me if I know where I'm going, cause I get lost I don't know where I'm going, why I'm going there, or where I am. I can be a mile from home and look around and not know where I am, and I panic, cause it doesn't look familiar to me. And Veronica's with me most of the time, and when I panic, she panics.
My Google GPS is named Samantha,
Okay.
and she gets us everywhere.
You know why she's called Samantha? Cause she gets around.
Oh, from
From
Sex and the
Sex
City.
and the City.
That's hilarious.
So, and then after looking at the list that night, the next day, I'll have the list on the counter and my husband will ask me again if I know where I'm going. And sometimes he'll write me, directions because I just get lost really easily, and I used to get lost and call him at work and just be crying, I don't know where I am, but he would tell me go to the next intersection, because without me being able to tell him where I was, he couldn't help me get out of there, so.
Like, I don't know, I'm in my car.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know where I am, I don't know where I'm going there.
We
So
have
he
dry
keeps-
sense of humor, so.
He keeps good track of us, because he still worries to this day. He can't talk about what happened to us, cause he thought he was gonna lose both of us the same day. So, he has what's called PTSD.
That was me in the hospital, relearning how to eat and that soft food. I had a feeding tube for 2 months, and so that is my first meal, and it is mashed potatoes, corn, and
A block of corn,
Yes.
actually, a block of corn.
I don't know what kind of meat, but it's just like puree.
That one's not pureed, but she had to eat
Yeah.
pureed food for a long time. And thick liquids, honey, thick, you know how thick honey is? That's the kind of liquids she had to drink for a long time,
And
because she had a trach and she would choke on everything.
And I didn't wear glasses before the accident, and so I'm wearing those pretty gorgeous glasses with tape on them because I saw double. And so those are to help me not see double.
And when she ate, we were so excited, we thought that she was just so happy to eat regular food, because she just ate really, really fast and started choking on her food. Well, they told us it was her impulse control. And
Because my frontal lobe was damaged, and that's what controls your impulses. And so so if I say something inappropriate, I don't have a filter, and my impulse doesn't tell me not to say it.
right,
And same with food, and my hypothalamus was damaged, which is right above your brainstem.
do you want to read the letter or no?
No. And it's right above your brainstem, and that controls your metabolism. So I've gained almost 100 pounds over my original weight. So I'm a curvy, beautiful woman. But I'm very, very confident in the work. sorry.
Compassion, I'm really big on compassion. When you see somebody that's heavy, you might automatically think they're lazy and they do nothing but sit around and eat. But that's not always the case, because that's not what Veronica does. And we exercise and she still is overweight. So, we told her she was perfect from the time she opened her eyes after her
Like,
coma.
in the hospital, because of my brain injury, like, you lose, I don't know what it is, like, you lose weight, like, in the hospital, I have like a gap between my thighs, like,
She was very thin.
I got down to like 108, and then, but my neuropsychologist was like, don't get used to this, because our neighbor who came, he used to bring me like a blueberry pie every day, and I would eat, like, I got spoiled, and
Dairy
then,
Queen, like,
and then, as soon as I got out, I was gaining 4 pounds a week.
until she
Until
gained 70 pounds.
Yeah, and now it's just elevated. And now I'm perfectly plump. Yes,
Anything happen to your amygdala?
I don't know what that is.
It's the fear part of your brain?
The
Mine
fear?
was, mine was affected. I have PTSD and I'm on a medication because when I get angry, I'm like, you know, very immediate to fight back. And, the medication I take calms it down to the point where I'm able to just take a breath before I get really angry, and I'm usually able to control it then. Veronica does what we call going white to red. You know, when you see red.
Like,
She-
I'm white, I'm perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden, like, something pisses me off, and I'm just like, I could kill you.
She used to, hit a lot, but she doesn't do that anymore, thankfully. But because of that side effect,
I'm on,
no, you're not on the medicine.
oh,
What did you just have?
oh, I would,
No, you just had surgery.
I know, I had a tubal ligation. I was supposed to have a hysterectomy, but there was,
Her blood pressure went
Yeah.
too low and they had to close her up.
but so like, cause I really wanted like 4 kids, I wanted like a perfect life, blah, blah, blah. But I don't trust myself to take care of a child now. Like, I don't wanna be taking care of my baby and it like, I don't wanna be like breastfeeding or something and it like bite me. And I'll be like, what the, you know, and like throw it. And then all of a sudden, like, calm down and be like, why is it bleeding? You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, it does sound funny, but it's
but
real.
it would happen.
It's
'Cause-
absolutely real. And it's dangerous, and she doesn't wanna hurt a child, so now she can't have children. She also, cannot work, she lives at home, doesn't drive, she's tried to learn how to drive 4 times, but her she mixes up
Yeah.
the gas and the brake, so
I've
she
gotten my
can't drive.
permit
And she
3
can't
times
take,
in my life, and
she can't take the bus, because if
I
she
would
sees
go
somebody,
off with a really cute guy. Cause
Yeah.
if he said, come with me, I have a nice apartment and we can have all the sex you want, or, you know, whatever. And be like, okay, that sounds great. And that is how I've gotten raped several times because I'm very unsafe with myself. So
that's why we
that's
have
also
guardians.
why I don't drink anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's another,
In the
picture of
hospital,
Veronica relearning motor skills.
I was really, that was almost when I got out. That's my dad. When I was like, I was basically up and walking, but yeah.
Yeah.
I still needed a walker. So. The vast majority of students with brain injuries returning to school have mild injuries. So the mild is almost up to 90%. The moderate is almost to 10%, and the severe is less than that. And I have severe, and so I'm a miracle. I am a, what does Uncle Danny call himself?
I don't know. But it was very unusual that Veronica
I was gonna
would get to
picture.
go back and graduate because,
A medical marvel.
I'm a medical marvel.
I am a medical marvel.
We were told that Veronica would likely remain in a vegetative state, and, this is what we got.
And on my 16th birthday, we had one doctor say I would walk out of the hospital.
And he bet us a Coke.
And so on my rebirth, I walked out. So
Without a walker or
Yep.
anything. And then when she went to therapy,
I brought him a Coke.
yep. It was a good, very emotional time.
Common problems, difficulty with memory, attention, concentration, and fatigue are common. May have problems with motor or movement, sensory or senses, perceptual or becoming aware of senses, cognitive or communication, social or emotional, behavioral, functioning.
Do you have any questions about any of those words?
No?
Alright. Cognitive, I always thought that was a problem, it's thinking. I don't know why.
I have issues with that too.
With thinking.
My cognitive abilities sometimes.
Never got hit in the head.
Okay, I'm teasing.
I still have to take a nap, almost daily. Almost a 2-hour nap, daily.
Yep.
I
could-
want to take a 2-hour nap
I know,
daily.
it's like,
That sounds great.
So I'm very jealous.
I know, it's like, how nice is that? But it's like, it almost like,
It's mandatory for you.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
which so it doesn't make it fun. Like,
Right.
I can't work either. When you get a brain injury, it can give you, mental illness and,
And it brought out, since bipolar runs in my family, it brought out bipolar in my mind, like,
have any of you heard of
In my
bipolar
mind?
disorder?
yeah.
Yeah?
BPD?
Oh, you know
Yes.
what? You
I
said
have-
ADD?
I said BPD, but.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
I do know
bipolar
ADD.
disorder or
it brought out
borderline
ADHD
personality
in me
disorder?
also.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if it can bring that out, but also Veronica has an anxiety disorder, and I
Yeah.
had bipolar disorder before the accident, and now since the accident, my medicines had stopped working at one time, and I just got up one day and started walking 10 miles a day. I was manic, and it seems like really good. You have all this energy, and you get all these things done, but at the same time, it can make you really irritable and angry. 11:45, okay. It can make you irritable and angry, and then I went through 6 weeks of depression, so, and I started hallucinating, so my bipolar disorder got worse after my brain injury.
Visual deficits, tracking, moving stationary objects, spatial relationship, which is like, I have no spatial relationship, like if I think you're hot, I'm right there, and if you smell good,
She kisses people
Like,
sometimes that she doesn't
no
know.
matter what gender, no, like, it doesn't
So-
matter.
But also, spatial relationship is, she didn't know, when things were close or far because of her,
Like I used to
vision.
trip up and down the stairs all the time. Neglect, lack of response to half of a visual field. So like, you literally don't recognize half of something. Like, somebody will bring a plate of food and you will only eat half of the plate of food.
Because you only see half the food.
Yeah.
When they draw only half the person, half the butterfly, half the whatever, because they only recognize half.
Auditory deficits, like you'll hear,
You may hear things that aren't real.
and tactile deficits.
Also with auditory, very loud noise can be extremely startling to you. I get very anxious when I hear very loud noise.
And tactile deficits, it's like, because my left side was paralyzed, I can't test my shower water with my left side because it could be scorching hot and I'll think it's fine. So,
you've lost a lot of your sense in that side.
yes, and at first, it used to be overly sensitive.
It still is. If somebody hits you, or
If somebody hits me or something, it's like,
it can be a play hit.
yeah,
And it'll
and it's
really
like,
hurt.
oh my god, like, are you trying to kill me?
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah, it's,
Was it overly sensitive when you got that tattoo? Did that hurt a lot? Or were you?
when I got this one, I literally cried.
Oh,
And I had to take like shots.
It-
Yeah.
They have numbing cream now, and
Yes.
so yeah,
Mhm.
we have
But
invested in
It's
that.
crazy because I have 11 tattoos and the majority of them are on my left side because I was like trying to tell myself like I'm not weak. I can do this, you know, so I got the majority of them on my left side.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I know.
Okay, cognitive communication problems, executive functions, that's in the front of your brain, in your frontal lobe. The mental processes that enable us to plan, focus attention, remember instructions, and juggle multiple tasks successfully. That's been highly affected on Veronica. And that's one of the reasons why she can't work, because she can do what she's asked to do usually very well,
But then I can't go to the next step.
she'll just
Like,
stand there and wait for
It
directions.
just like, it literally like goes out of my head, like, I just like, it's like, oh, clean the dishes or do the dishes or whatever, and then it's like, I'll do the dishes, but I will literally like forget to like wipe the counters or like empty the trash, and then it's like, I don't know, like it has.
She's not detail oriented
Yeah.
anymore. Memory, attention, it often gives you ADHD-like behavior, where your behavior is all over.
So I went to nail school and I couldn't take boards because I can't do the steps because my memory is so bad.
And they would not allow her to take the
take a
test
list.
with a list.
And then also my study, like to take the test like in, cause there's like a classroom portion of the class. And I couldn't study enough. Do you know what I
She
mean?
couldn't concentrate to
Yeah.
study.
I'm just
Information
talking.
processing, I have a hard time with that. When people speak too quickly, I'll get stuck on like the first 2 words and then I can't, it's just like blah, blah, blah. I don't hear, I can't process the rest of it. And my husband will think that I'm not listening to him sometimes when I ask him to repeat himself, but it's not because I'm not listening, it's because I don't understand. Sequencing, Veronica has that. She can't tell if something happened this morning, yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, so when she tells us stories, she doesn't really know when
They kinda have to
something
take it
happened.
with a grain of salt.
Problem solving, Veronica's type of problem solving in the beginning was very poor.
I had my first pair of glasses ever and I had gotten like dried hairspray on them. And I thought to fix them, I would just take the soft side of a file and I would file them. Yeah, yes. Like, I was like,
It makes
it's
sense.
a soft, like, a soft side, like, it won't hurt them,
I know
and
what you're
so,
talking about, but-
so I did it and it scratched them, and I was like, Dad, I did something.
And they were brand new.
Yeah.
Word retrieval, I have trouble with word retrieval. At our house, it's like charades. I will describe everything about something. It's long and we had it yesterday and, when
And
I
she's
ate
blind
it.
and.
And then, my family knows me really well, so they're able to guess what I'm gonna say, and I used to get really
Like, what
angry.
show is it? Big Bang Theory. No.
I used to get really angry when they would
Sorry.
fill in the blanks, but now I don't because it helps us have our conversation more quickly. Expressive language organization is where you know what you want to say and you say the words in the wrong order. Oh,
I think you went two.
did I go two?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. Wait, irritability. This is the
Okay.
one. Social emotional problems. Irritability. Veronica gets irritated very easily. Impulsivity and disinhibition. She.
I used to go everywhere and just show.
Pull her shirt up.
And I was on dating, like, so many dating sites because a year after my accident, me and my boyfriend broke up because he was like, the doctor lied to me. The real Veronica didn't come back.
And she was hitting him all
Yes.
the time. So they
And
did
so I was on like a million dating sites, and if a guy was like, "Can I get your number?" and so I would send him my number, and the first thing he would do, like,
Send
"Can
you
I get some nudes?" So all of Colorado, I think, has me naked.
pictures of her naked.
So-
That's so true. That is
So
true.
if you don't, well, sorry.
Nope. Okay, perseveration. When she would ask us a question and we would say no, she would continually ask and ask. She would just remain on the subject for a long time. We need to hurry up. So, emotional lability, we're both on medication for that. We go high and low, happy and sad and angry and, happy and sad and angry
Okay.
all the time.
Blah, blah,
And
blah.
then
Blah, blah, blah.
insensitivity to social cues. Say somebody's talking to you and they are trying to get away, so they're walking backwards and you keep on walking toward them. That is not
Social cues.
Yeah.
Yes. Anxiety, withdrawal, egocentricity. I had that. This whole presentation is about me, so don't get it wrong.
Me, that's what it's about.
That's
Me,
what it
me,
is.
me. It's always me.
Denial of deficits. Mom had that at the beginning. Like, Veronica was in an accident.
Yeah, I never
I had
talked about
nothing to
myself.
do with it. I don't have a brain injury. I'm sorry if you think I do.
But after 3 years, I figured it out and had to deal with it.
Depression. I had that for almost,
For long.
for almost 10 years.
Peer conflict, it's easy to have peer conflict because you don't have a filter and you might say things that are inappropriate and people don't want to be around you.
Sexuality concerns, high risk behavior. I like sex, and that is how bad things happen to me. And then on the other side, you don't like sex.
Oh, that's a sexuality concern.
I was like, why are you looking at it that way? Yes, you don't like sex. No,
Or it
like-
can have to do with
Yes, oh my
sensation.
god. Yes.
Okay, high risk behavior, not using birth control
Not you
or
personally.
putting yourself in danger.
Sorry.
Behavioral problems, deficits, all types may lead to challenging behaviors. That's Veronica, non-compliance. No, I'm 29 years old and you can't tell me what to do. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And that goes along with aggression and confrontational behavior. Lack of initiative is called adenamia, and Veronica has that.
And withdrawal. that's like where I have a brain injury, so I'm not gonna hang out with you. Cause I am different.
It's because you know your deficits and
Yes,
you know
I
that-
know I'm different.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And that's my 60th birthday, walking out with all my nurses. So,
One more thing, because our memories are bad, when my husband and I get in an argument, if I walk away, like I'll forget that we were in an argument, and when I go back, he's still all grumbly, and I don't know why, and he'll have to tell me because we had an argument, and he's still mad. And Veronica will storm down to her bedroom, and
5 minutes later, I'll come up and mom will still be mad, and I'll be like, what's wrong? She's like, you don't remember us fighting?
nope.
No.
Does
Any
anybody-
questions? You guys are not seniors.
Nope, the freshman, yes.
So you were saying how you remembered, you only remembered like things before the accident, like what are the things that you guys remember from before the accident?
I remember all of before the accident,
Yes.
but Veronica doesn't
I
remember
don't
3 months.
remember, there's just like a 3-month period of where, like I remember my whole childhood, I remember everything, but I don't remember Christmas, I don't remember,
The entire 3 months before?
yep, losing my virginity, I don't remember, but I remember the morning of the accident. I was talking to my chemistry teacher and we were taking notes, and I was sitting in a girl's chemistry seat
We have 1 minute.
that died 1 year earlier in a car accident exactly like mine, 1 street prior to ours. And he said, you're sitting in blah, blah, blah C. And I said, watch, now get in a car accident. And everybody around me was like, don't say that, don't say that. And then it happened.
And time of day.
Yep. Everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, so you still remembered like all your friends and stuff from
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it happened in Colorado. I kind of.
Yeah, it happened on Bradley, turn on the powers coming up from.
What do you guys say to Veronica and Don?
Thank you, you guys were
Thank
great.
you.